cuties, welcome back to my channel. So it's been a while since I've done a grocery haul. This one's sort of a big one. You can see I've got a lot of produce. We didn't have any produce. My produce store is literally empty. I think I have a couple of clementines in my fruit drawer and that is it. So we had definitely had a restock on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the items like I normally do, and I'll share the protein count and calories if I remember on most of the items. Obviously not the produce, but maybe you can get some ideas. Usually I share meal ideas with the things that I bought that I'm going to make for the week. So stick around. I'm just going to start here with the produce like I usually do. So we didn't have any celery or carrots in the fridge. I just like to keep these on hand always. If I decide to make soup or stew or I don't know what else. Today I made a tuna salad and didn't have any celery. So I just like these two items in my fridge at all times, and we didn't have any. So there you go. And of course I buy this every week or every other week is when I shop. But this is an English cucumber. This is a pretty big one. So I'm happy because I love cucumbers and I eat them a lot. So yeah. And by the way, this is a grocery delivery. So there's going to be one or two substitutions and I'll try to remember to mention that. But yeah. So these are just two zucchini right here. I know it's hard to see, but they're just zucchini. They're kind of big, I'm glad, because I can use one, the big one for dinner, and then I cut up one, put it in a mason jar, and use that in my little quesadillas in the morning. I love it. I haven't gotten sick of it yet. I've been eating it for probably years at this point. So that's what these are for. And then over here is just an avocado. Again, pretty hard, and that's fine. I have one in the fridge. But I'll put it in a paper bag for a couple days and it'll ripen up perfectly. And then over here, you're probably saying, but you're doing low carb. I do eat potatoes once in a while. These are pretty small, I'm glad, because I didn't want a big giant one. And I only bought two because it's all we're going to use for the 2 weeks that these groceries will last. And I just feel like I don't want to deprive myself. I'll just take the carbs and work my day around that, whatever the carbs are. And I'll put that on the screen. I think I'll look it up for you based on this size potato, which compared to my hand, I mean, it's pretty small. So, or average, I guess. And then pretty much almost every time I shop, I get tomatoes, cherry tomatoes for now until they're in season. And these cherubs are my favorite. They just taste really good. They last a pretty long time, so that's why I buy these. And then almost always green onions. And I had mentioned, I think I did a short on it actually, where I continually grow my green onions. So I'll chop these up, put them in a mason jar, use them all for like 2 weeks. And I put the root end in a jar with a tiny bit of water and they grow, but I only regrow them once because I find they get a little slimy, and maybe it's something I'm doing wrong, but it just works for me. So every 2 or 3 weeks, I buy another bunch and start all over. So here, as you can see, are some Gala apples, and I really just wanted 1 or 2, but my husband said he'd be eating them too. So I just bought the bag. It was much cheaper. It was on sale. And they all look pretty good, so that makes me happy. I like to have these with peanut butter, but I actually found a recipe. Somebody, I think it was on TikTok, if you want to call it a recipe, she just mixed together some Greek yogurt and some other stuff and put it in a little dish next to the sliced apples. So I might try that because it had more protein than peanut butter. And if I can find that recipe again, I will film it as a short so you can see what that looks like. Okay, next up are some green beans. I've been a little obsessed with roasted green beans lately, so I am actually going to roast these tonight for dinner. I'm glad this delivery came in time, and I have a special sauce to go with it. I found a recipe from Molly Yeh. She's on Food Network, and I want to try it. It's called the Magic Sauce. again, I will film that, and if it works out really good and it tastes good, I will make it a short so you guys can see that. So stay tuned for that. Another repeat purchase. I used to just buy 1 or 2 peppers. Now I just buy the 4-pack. This was also on sale, so it was a really good buy because these different color ones can be kind of pricey. And I just cut these up, usually 1. I'll cut in small pieces, put it in a mason jar for my quesadillas for breakfast along with the zucchini. But once in a while, I'll also make it for dinner if we're having like sausage and peppers or chili, taco soup, anything like that. And they last a pretty long time. I take them out of this wrapping and I have those green bags that help the produce last longer. So I will do that with the peppers and they last for probably a good 2 weeks. So that makes me happy. And then just some mushrooms. And these are giant mushrooms. I don't think I asked for these. So these might have been a substitution and that's fine. They look really good. So what this is for is I bought pork chops and I want to make a pork chop dish. Made it a few times on my channel, I think. It's a skinny taste recipe and it's just kind of a mushroom sauce over pork chops and it's really, really good. Really, really simple. So yeah, that's what I'll use the mushrooms for. Probably on Tuesday. I'm filming this on Monday. So we're having salmon with those green beans tonight. And tomorrow will probably be the pork chops. And then I was completely out of lettuce, which I'm not usually. So I just bought romaine. It lasts the longest for me, so I usually buy that. Sometimes I'll buy an alternate lettuce to kind of fill in, but for the most part, it's romaine. And I like it too. And over here is spinach. And I found a recipe that I want to try that calls for baby spinach. It's another skinny taste recipe. And off the top of my head, I cannot remember what it was. I think it was chicken Florentine, actually, now that I think of it. So I might film that as a long form video. If it turns out good, I'll post that so you guys can see it. It looks really simple. And I love spinach, especially cooked in like a sauce. So I'm excited to try that. So again, if you're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you can see when I upload shorts and videos. Because sometimes I do just a quick short if it's like a kind of a quick little recipe that I don't have long form for. Okay, so I swung over to the other side of the island and here are the pork chops. Unfortunately, they only had thick cut, which is fine. Again, they're not actually very big, they're just thick, but I usually have enough calories for this, and it's got plenty of protein, so it's going to be really good with the mushroom sauce. I might even split them in half. I'll have to see how big they are. I'll weigh them out. And then I usually work out my calories. I'll put it in my Fitness Pal and see how many calories that is, and then plan my day around it. So we'll see how that works out. And then just some chicken breasts. I've shown this before. I used to get the one at Costco that I absolutely loved. They were individually wrapped and they were frozen, but they started being really too big, the breasts, and had a weird texture to me. So unfortunately I stopped buying them, and I think last time I checked, they don't even sell them anymore. They do sell the, what's it called? Chicken tenders, but I don't like those. So I just pay a little bit extra for these. These are not frozen, so I will freeze them, but they are individually wrapped, and they're about 130 calories for each one, estimated, because of course they can't all be the exact same size. But as you can see, it's 130 calories for each one. There's 31 grams of protein, and of course, no carbs. So this is easy, and if I take this out in the morning and put it in the fridge, it will be defrosted by dinner. Plenty of time. So it's perfect. Next meat item is some ground turkey, and this is my favorite brand, the Shady Brook Farms. I really like this brand. I just find it's very tasty. Doesn't have any kind of weird texture to it or anything. It's got a good color when I get it. This is the 93% lean, so it does have a little bit of fat in it. So this week I'll probably make either some turkey meatloaf, which is one of my favorites and my husband's, or some chili, but I think I just made chili. So it might be for meatloaf this week. We'll see. But let me see if it, yeah, it does. Okay. Let's see. So for 4 ounces, it's 160 calories, 22 grams of protein for that serving, and of course, 0 carbs. So it's perfect. And then over here, I bought some Canadian bacon. I want to make some egg sandwiches this week, I think. I'm kind of been in the mood, and I usually have just one slice with a light English muffin, some cheese, and an egg, and I make it kind of in a circle shape to fit on the English muffin. So it's like an Egg McMuffin. It's perfect. But the serving size is actually 3 slices, and it's only 60 calories, 10 grams of protein, and less than 1 gram of carbs. So again, another perfect protein source. And they're good. I mean, I'm not a big fan of ham, as I might have mentioned on my channel many times, but it tastes kind of good with the cheese and the egg on the English muffin. So, and I can also saute, 2 or 3 slices in a pan to go along with eggs, like if I make scrambled eggs. So it's a perfect protein. And then over here, repeat buy for sure. I almost always buy this. I go through it. I use it a lot for my little quesadillas in the morning that I make. I use 1/4 cup, and I should know this by heart. 1/4 cup is 90 calories. It's 7 grams of protein and 2 grams of carbs. I like the taste of it. This is just the store brand. It's fine. It's kind of finely shredded, so I enjoy that. It melts quick. Okay, let me swing over here to the dairy. So I bought this one other time, and this is obviously a Fairlife protein shake. You get 26 grams of protein. Wow. And 170 calories, and how many carbs? Looks like 8 total carbs and 6 net carbs. But what I finally did with this, because I won't just drink it, I know myself, I made it, looking at TikTok, I made it into kind of a protein pudding. I added the entire bottle of this and about 4 tablespoons of the sugar-free, fat-free chocolate pudding mix. And it turned out so good. So with this one bottle and the 3 or 4 tablespoons of the powder, the pudding powder, I cut it into 2 servings. So it was a pretty hefty serving with a little bit of fat-free Reddi-wip on it, but it was really, really good. So I was excited about that. So I want to make it again. So I bought another one. I already have the chocolate pudding in my pantry. So that'll be on the horizon for this week for desserts. And then I did buy some cottage cheese. As I've probably mentioned before on my channel, I add this about a tablespoon to my eggs in the morning. It's delicious. You don't even taste the cottage cheese, and it gives you a little bit of protein. But they didn't have the one I like, which is the blue one that everybody else likes. I forgot what it was called off the top of my head, but I decided to go with Breakstone. No big deal. I got a bigger container though, because I also bought some wassa crackers, which I like to spread this on wassa and either put sliced tomatoes. I think last time I put some sliced cucumber, a little bit of bagel seasoning on it. It was really, really good. So I want to incorporate a little bit more of the cottage cheese in this week and next week. So let's look at the macros here. So for 1/2 cup is 100 calories. Wow. I think that's pretty good. And what does that say? 13 grams of protein and 7 carbs. 7 net carbs. Yeah. So I don't know if I'll be having 1/2 cup at one time. We'll see. Probably more like 1/4 cup because I'll add other stuff to it. But yeah, so I'm going to give that a try. I never had the Breakstone one, so we'll see. And then over here is just a little, oh darn. It was supposed to be the one, oh it is, okay. 1/3 less fat. And this is for a recipe. And unfortunately I could, oh, it's for the chicken Florentine. That's what it calls for, like a tablespoon of it. So I can use this again on the Wassa cracker with a little bit of this and either some tomatoes, cucumber. If I have salmon, I could do that. I don't have any salmon right now. I should have thought of that, but it's fine. It'll be a nice little breakfast one day. And for 2 tablespoons, it's 60 calories. And oh my goodness, I cannot read that. There we go. 3 grams of protein, not great, but that's okay, and 2 carbs. So there we go. And sad about this was supposed to be the Cedars tzatziki that you've seen many times on my channel. And I asked that if they didn't have that, not to give me the spinach dip. I don't really care for it, but I will find a use for it. I mean, it's not awful. It's just definitely not my favorite. Maybe I'll share it with somebody and so I don't have to eat this whole container or waste it. So yeah, I'll tell you what the calories are. So for, let's see, sorry, 2 tablespoons. Sorry, you can probably see it better than I can. Is 50 calories and only 1 gram of protein. And how many carbs? Oh boy, 3 carbs. Oh well. Like I said, I don't like to waste, so I'll either share it with somebody, give it to somebody, have it for a couple of days, and then share it with somebody. I don't know. We'll see. Or find something to do with it that isn't just dipping vegetables in it. And then I'm going to ask my husband to get me my tzatziki because I have to have that. And then just another repeat buy, the Daisy Light Sour Cream for 2 tablespoons. It's 35 calories and 2 grams of protein and 1 gram of fiber. And I like this. I actually would eat this, you know, anytime. I mean, it tastes really good to me. It has a thick consistency. So yeah, it's really good. So I buy the big container. And as you've probably seen in any of my What I Eat in a Day videos, I mix 2 tablespoons of that with a little picante sauce and dip my little quesadilla in the morning right in there, and it tastes absolutely delicious. Okay, here are some new items, 2 new items. I've never tried the Oikos 000 yogurt. I don't know, it's got 15 grams of protein, as you can see. I see a lot of people talk about this and make little parfaits out of it. So I just wanted to give it a try since it had so much protein. We'll see. I don't know. I'm a little picky with my yogurt, but let's see if I can get it to zoom in there. There we go. So this container is 90 calories. It does have the 15 grams of protein and it has 7 grams of carbs. That's kind of high for me, but I'm going to try it. What the heck? Gotta switch things up once in a while. And then over here is something new, Italian wedding soup from Panera they had at my grocery store. I don't think this is a new thing to anybody else, but it's new to me. I make homemade Italian wedding soup, which I absolutely love, but I wanted to kind of have some options for lunches. I'm kind of getting a little bored with what I've been having, mostly salad, which is fine. But once in a while, I just want something different. And I saw the macros on this and I didn't think it was too bad. So for 1 cup of it, it's 130 calories, 9 grams of protein, and only 8 net carbs. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I'd probably have this whole thing for lunch and just have this, that would be it. So for the whole container, it's still only 240 calories, 17 grams of protein, and 15 net carbs. I really didn't think that was too bad. It has these little pasta in it, some little meatballs. I'm sure it doesn't taste like homemade, but Panera's pretty good. So I'm gonna give this a try one day for lunch. And it's been quite cold here on Long Island, so it'll be a nice, warm, filling lunch. Okay, this is another new item. So one of my last grocery hauls, I think I might have shown a different salmon that I bought. I am never a fan of pre-seasoned items, but the salmon I got was really, really good. I could never season it like that. So I wanted to give another flavor a try. This is the teriyaki sesame salmon, and there's 2 in here. And it looks pretty good. Let me just turn it over for the macros. So of course I'll have 1 and my husband will have the other. 240 calories, which is pretty high, but I think sometimes salmon itself is high in calories. So let's see, 18 grams of protein, that's really good. And 10 grams of carbs, not great, but I am going to make this tonight for dinner actually with those yummy green beans. My husband will have rice. I think I'll skip the rice tonight, but yeah, I'm looking forward to trying this. I don't know, I'm kind of on the fence about preseason things, like I said. Not always a fan of it. The last one we really liked, so we'll give this one a try. I think I should maybe start going back to making my own salmon and working on the seasoning. But for now, we're going to have this. And it's a little late in the day. It's actually after 5:30. So it'll be quick and easy. I'll do the green beans. Those will be really quick. And then give him some rice and we'll be all ready for dinner. Okay, and here's those Wasta crackers that I talked about. So I really like these. I was talking to my mother about these. I remember her having these, and I probably ate some too when I was a kid, and they just seemed very cardboard-like. But I don't know if it's my adult taste buds or they've changed the recipe, but these taste good to me now. They're a little bit thinner than they used to be, I think. Oops, sorry. This is the light rye flavored. And let me turn over for the macros. So it's 40 calories for 2 slices, and that's really what they look like. And it is 2 grams of protein, and is that 7 net carbs. So yes, of course it has carbs in it, but I just like to, like I said, put some cottage cheese, some sliced cucumber. What else have I done recently? I did something where I put honey on it. It was really good. But also avocado instead of bread for avocado toast. So yeah, really good. So that's a nice staple for a different kind of breakfast. And my usual light Italian dressing. I did buy a can of green beans, and the only reason I did that was in case they didn't have those fresh green beans, I figured I could use the can. So I'll just keep this on the shelf. And if that sauce that I'm making for the green beans works out, I could use the canned beans with that sauce or some other application. We'll see. But, you know, it's always shelf stable. So, and just a little olive oil spray. I bought some more bone broth. And last time I showed a recipe where I used it, but then I had some left over and I just had it for lunch alongside a sandwich I think I had. I was having a tuna melt or something. So I just want to keep this on hand because it was so delicious. And I know it's really good for you. So I want to keep it on the shelf. When I want a little something with my lunch, I can have this. So this entire container is 80 calories, 19 grams of protein, and about 1 carb. But oh my goodness, and it tastes really, really good. So yeah, I'm gonna keep this on hand for sure. I would never probably drink the whole container. I'd probably split it in half over 2 days. But so for 40 calories and all that protein, oh my goodness, it's perfect. And then I got some almond coconut milk. As you might have seen on my channel before, I've been into green tea matcha latte, which I haven't really been making as often. Like I mentioned, it does have caffeine and it was kind of bothering me if I'd have it in the afternoon. So I did have one for breakfast one day and it was perfect. I even worked out after that. I felt energized. So I'm going to try that again for breakfast. So I like to use this kind of milk. And for 1 cup, it's 40 calories, only 1 gram of protein, 1 carb. But I like the flavor of it, and it stays a pretty long time in my fridge because I'm the only one who will drink this, but it's perfect, and I like the flavor. Then just got 2 more staples that are always in my freezer. I got the baby broccoli florets and the cauliflower florets that just stay in my freezer at all times. Again, I've mentioned on my channel many times, I will roast either one of these in the oven on 425, right from frozen. I season it up, spray it with some avocado spray, and roast it for about 15 minutes. Kind of mix it around, roast it for about another 10 minutes, and it's perfect. So I always keep these on hand for side dishes for dinner. Last frozen item are some yasso bars. I always like to have a little kind of dessert in the freezer too. And it's 100 calories for one bar. Let's zoom in there. 5 grams of protein and 14 grams of net carbs. I mean, not great macros, but I don't have it every day. There's actually only 4 in here, so I do pace myself over the 2 weeks. And sometimes I don't even eat all of them. I'll have like one left over. I think I just had the last one from 2 weeks ago last night, so yeah. But they're delicious. And last item are just some K-Cups. This is my favorite type from Starbucks, and they were on sale, so I picked them up. They're a really good deal compared to where I buy them. Costco doesn't always carry this one, if they even do. I don't think they do anymore, but this is the one I like, the blonde roast. So, yeah. And I think that's it. That's my grocery haul for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope maybe I gave you some meal ideas. And stay tuned for all my shorts. Like I said, if you're not already subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you see every time I post a short and a long form video. And I hope you enjoyed the haul. Have a great night, everyone.